Okay. So the first thing we want to do when we find ourselves on our back is let's go ahead and place one hand on our abdomen and one hand on our chest. And I want you to just consciously start to breathe into the belly, breathe into that hand there. And we're going to just take a few breath cycles here, really grounding ourselves into the breath, really grounding ourselves into the body, and then really grounding ourselves into this present moment. As you take the next few series of breaths, see if you can start to expand your breath so that the breath will fill the belly and start to widen into your ribs. And you might notice the back ribs press into the floor as the front ribs lift up and the side ribs press to the sides. And then again, you'll exhale and soften the ribs and soften the belly. And then as we take these next series of breaths, we're going to make that even bigger. So you'll breathe into the belly, you'll expand through the ribs, and then maybe the chest will lift just a smidge. And then you'll exhale and you'll soften the belly, you'll soften the ribs, and you'll soften the chest. And we'll just take 3 more breath cycles just like this. And in all of our shapes today, good morning, Laura, our focus will be on breathing into the belly, then breathing into the ribs, and then breathing into the chest, and then breathing out of the belly, breathing out of the ribs, and breathing out of the chest. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Laura. Now, at the end of this next exhalation, you'll go ahead, and if your legs are straight, keep them that way. Bend just your right knee and hug your right knee into your chest. Bring your hands to the front of your right shin and inhale, lightly kick the knee away from you, and exhale, pull the knee closer to your chest. And you'll just take a couple of these, inhaling, sending the knee away, and exhaling, pulling it in. And again, we're still staying with that breath, filling the belly, the ribs, the chest, and then exiting the belly, softening the ribs, softening the chest. The next time that knee comes in, go ahead and hug the knee close. You might choose to stay here as you reach out through that left leg, flexing through the foot, pressing down through the heel. You might choose to take some small circles in the hip socket. But again, you're paying attention to how the breath is working. You're paying attention to how the body is working, and you're really grounding yourself right now in this moment. If you've circled the knee and hip one way, be sure you try the other side. And then when you feel neutraled or equal between the sides, let's go ahead and come to stillness. Grab your strap, place the strap around the ball of your foot, and send your foot up towards the sky. From here, you'll just take about 3 to 5 breaths. Recheck in with that left leg. Make sure the left leg is strong. The heel is pressing down. Press up through the right foot and the ball of the foot. Draw the outer right hip away from your right shoulder and in towards your inner left thigh. And then see if you can press up through your right heel just a smidge more. And then again, check in with the breath. Are you breathing into the belly? Are you breathing into the ribs? Are you breathing into the chest? And can you soften from the belly, soften through the ribs, soften through the chest? Fantastic. Now from here, let's go ahead and grab both ends of the strap in your right hand. Open your left arm out to the left. Turn your right toes out to the right and start to open your right leg to the right without letting your left hip move. Now your core is going to have to work just a smidge to spin to the left, to draw more weight into your left butt cheek. And then again, breathe into the belly, breathe into the ribs, breathe into the chest, and then exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. And you've just got one more breath cycle like that, pressing out through your right heel, pressing down through your left heel, and turning the abdomen to the left. On your next inhalation, draw your right leg back up through center. Draw both ends of the strap now into your left hand. Draw your right thumb to your right hip crease. Press your right hip away from you and in towards your inner left thigh, and then cross your right leg a few inches over to the left. Keep pressing through your right heel, and then again, breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, breathe into your chest, and then breathe out through the belly, breathe out through the ribs, breathe out through the chest. And you've got 2 more breath cycles just like that, really pressing through that right heel, really pressing the right hip away from your right shoulder. There we go. And really flexing through that left foot. Nice job. On your next inhalation, gently come back up through center. Keep your leg there, but remove the strap. And then very slowly, you'll point and flex your foot down until the right leg reaches the left leg. So point and flex and lower the leg, pointing and flexing all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Fantastic. When the right leg touches and meets the left, go ahead and notice what you notice between the sides. And then as you're ready, you'll draw that left knee into your chest. Hands come to the front of your left shin bone. Inhale, you'll draw the leg away from you, and then exhale, you'll squeeze the leg towards your chest. And you'll just do about 4 of these, inhaling, sending the knee away, and then exhaling, drawing it in. And so the left toes are just trying to touch towards the floor. That's the type of a way, so that you're starting to waken up, awaken the low back. There we go. And then the next time the left knee comes towards the chest, you might just stay there and actively flex through the right foot. You might take some small circles in the hip socket, but you're just paying attention. Are you still breathing? Are you breathing into the belly? Are you breathing into the ribs? And are you breathing into the chest? And then go ahead and be sure to switch directions. Fantastic. Once you feel complete between both sides, go ahead and come to stillness. Bring the strap across the ball of your left foot, and then send your left foot up towards the sky. And then we've just got a few breath cycles here. First, check in with the right leg. Make sure the right leg is active, toes are pointing straight up, right heel is pressing straight down. Then draw your outer left hip away from your left shoulder and in towards your inner right thigh. Press up through the heel of the left foot, press up through the left big toe mound and pinky toe mound. And then, are you breathing? Can you breathe into those low bellies, into the low ribs, and into the chest? And then can you exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest? Nice job. Just 1 more breath cycle here. Keep that left leg active. Keep the breath steady. Nice work. As you're ready, draw both ends of the strap into your left hand. Open the right arm out to the right. Spin the left heel into the left. Open the left toes out. And see if you can keep the whole right butt cheek as heavy as it is right now as you open the left leg to the left. This is going to require that you turn the abdomen from the left side to the right. Yep. And then keep breathing in the low belly, in the ribs, and in the chest. And then exhaling from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. 1 more, just like that. Keep pressing through the left heel. Keep rooting down through the right hip. Nice job, guys. On your next inhalation, come back up through center. Draw both ends of the strap into the right hand. Draw the left thumb to the left hip crease. Press the left hip away from your left shoulder. Keep reaching up through the left heel, and then start to cross the left leg towards the right side of your body. And then you'll take a few breaths here, really keeping left butt cheek glued to the floor as you reach out through that left heel, and you keep breathing deeply into the belly, into the ribs, and into the chest. Nice job, guys. 1 more breath cycle here. Big, slow, deep breath, pressing out through that left heel. Nice work. Next inhalation, go ahead and come back up through center. As you exhale, gently release the strap, but keep the leg as it is. And then slowly point and flex your foot as you lower your leg all the way down to the floor. There we go. Point and flex and point and flex, point and flex. Nice job. Once both feet touch the floor, go ahead and bend your knees and plant your feet firmly on the floor. Bring your hands alongside your hips. Awesome. And then let's go ahead and make sure our feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, press through the feet, reach the arms up and over your head and see if they can touch the floor behind you. Keep the arms on the floor, but slowly roll down the spine, bone by bone by bone by bone by bone by bone by bone. When your pelvis touches the floor, you'll inhale and lift the hips once again. And then exhale, hands and hips come back to that starting position, hands alongside the hips, pelvis back down. Nice job. And we're going to do 4 sets of those. So you'll inhale, you'll lift the hips, you'll lift the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, reach through the fingertips and slowly lower your spine to the floor, tractioning out the spine as you lower the pelvis down. The next inhale, press through the feet, lift your hips high. And then as you exhale, lower your hands and your hips back to that starting position. Yep. And then you'll just do this 2 more times on your own. So you inhale, you lift the hips, you lift the arms. You exhale, keep the hands on the floor, reach out through the fingertips as you lower the spine back down to the floor. You inhale, you press through the feet, you lift the hips high. And then you exhale, lower the hips and lower the arms back to that starting position. Awesome. And you'll do this last set on your own. And you're really just paying attention to what it feels like to move with your body, with your breath. Really feeling every moment of the movement. And just starting to connect to see what this feels like for you. Nice job. The next time your hands and hips are on the floor, go ahead and pause there. Inhale, sweep the arms out into a T shape. And then as you exhale, the legs are going to slowly fall over to your left. You'll inhale and come back up through center. And exhale, go over to the right. And inhale, come back through center. And you'll do this 2 more times, keeping the feet hip distance apart as you just windshield wiper the legs one way and then the other. And you're just paying attention. What does this feel like in your body? Nice job, guys. All right, this is your last set. And then the next time your legs come up through center, you'll exhale and go back over to the left. You might cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. You might reach your arms up and over your head and hold on to your right wrist as you arc the upper body up and to the left. But you've got 3 breath cycles here. And I want you to just breathe and notice what you notice happening in the body. Are you still breathing into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest? And then exiting through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. One more, just like that. Inhaling into belly, inhaling into ribs, inhaling into chest, and then exhaling abdomen, ribs, chest. Nice job. Gently release that left leg if it hooked on top. Inhale, arms open out, legs come back through center. And then exhale, the legs fall over to the right. You might stay here. You might cross the right ankle on top of the left knee. You might reach the arms up and over your head and grab that left wrist as you reach the upper body up and to the right. And then again, just 3 breaths, breathing into your abdomen, into your ribs, into your chest. And then exhaling from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Nice job. One more breath cycle here. Awesome. Sauce. Very gently release that right leg. Inhale, open the arms out, come back through center. And then Bring your hands alongside your hips. 2 more things before we turn over. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Press down through the backs of the arms, backs of the feet, back of the head. Go ahead and inhale, lift your hips high. From here, you might walk the shoulder blades underneath you even more. You might grab the outside edges of your mat. You might interlace your hands underneath you. Whatever you choose to do, we're going to take 3 breath cycles here. So again, you're going to breathe into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and exhaling from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. And you're just noticing, what does it feel like? Do you feel the floor underneath your wrists? Do you feel the floor underneath your elbows and forearms? Can you feel the backs of the arms pressing into the floor? Can you press your big toes and feel those pressing into the floor? Yeah. And you just notice, where's the skull touching the floor? The end of your next exhalation, you'll release your hands, you'll untuck your shoulders, you'll slowly lower the pelvis back down to the floor, and you'll just take a moment to pause. Now breathe into the belly, breathe into the ribs, and breathe into the chest, and notice what you notice now. Nice job. Next in breath, reach your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, externally rotate the leg, bend the right knee, and cross the right ankle at the top of the left thigh. Now hug your knees in towards your chest. You might grab behind the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin. But I want you to notice if you can still breathe into your belly, into your ribs, and into your chest as you keep your whole sacrum on the floor. Really flex through that left foot. Really press the right ankle into the left thigh. And then just notice what you notice here. Nice job, guys. Take one more breath cycle here. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. As you're ready, you'll release the left leg, drawing the left foot to the floor. Release the right foot, drawing it to the floor. And then inhale, sweep your left leg up. As you exhale, externally rotate that leg, bend the knee, and cross the left ankle on the top of the right thigh. Draw your knees towards your chest. You might grab the back of the right thigh, front of the right shin, and then you'll just pause. Can you keep your sacrum really rooted and notice what that does to the back of your head? And then notice again, breathing into the belly, into the ribs, and into the chest. Great, one more breath cycle right here. Maybe drawing the knees closer to you as you press the left ankle away. And then at the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and release the hands, draw the right foot to the floor, draw the left foot to the floor. Go ahead and extend your legs long now. Bring your hands alongside your torso, so hands alongside the hips. This is going to sound really weird, but I want you to do a fish pose here. So you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back and see how much of your chest you can lift up and away from the floor just by squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. And you'll hold for about 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Lower the whole spine back to the floor. Maybe shake your shoulders or shimmy a little bit from right to left to notice what that feels like. And then you're going to do that one more time. Hands alongside your hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. This time when you do it, you might press more into the elbows and lift more of your upper chest up and away from the floor, so just the crown of your head touches. But again, you're squeezing the backs of the shoulder blades to make this happen. Awesome. And then very gently release. Take a moment to breathe into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest. As you're ready, let's extend one arm alongside our ears, roll over onto that side, and then you'll press yourself up to a hands and knees position. Now, when you come to hands and knees, you're just going to take a few breaths in cats and cows. And so we just did that crazy fish pose. We haven't done fish in a while, so I want you to feel what your cow pose feels like in particular. So you just inhale and you'll exhale. Nice job. Awesome. The next time you're in your cow pose, go ahead and stay in cow. Press down into your left hand, drop your right ear to your right shoulder, and notice what's happening on your left side of the neck. Again, breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, breathe into your chest. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale and come back to center with the skull, and then do that to the other side. So left ear goes towards left shoulder, press into right hand even more. Breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, breathe into your chest. Exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Go ahead and inhale, come back through center. And then exhale, round through your spine, coming into a cat pose. Great. Next inhalation, come to cow once again. As you exhale, curl your toes under, press your pelvis back, and start to walk yourself up for a toe squat position. Now, once you come into your toe squat, you'll just take a moment to be there. Make sure your pinky toe is tucked under. Yep. And then for today, with knees still on the floor, if that's possible for you, go ahead and reach your left arm up, bend the left elbow, and grab your left elbow with your right hand. And then again, I want you to breathe into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest. Exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. You got one more breath cycle here. Lift your chin parallel-ish to the floor. Yep, and draw your skull straight back. Nice job. Next in-breath, go ahead and reach up through the right arm, reach up through the left, and then we'll switch sides, bending the right elbow, grabbing the right elbow with the left hand. And then just 2 breath cycles here, breathing into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest, and then exhaling from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. One more, just like that. And you're just noticing what this feels like. Fantastic. Next in-breath, go ahead and reach up through the left arm, reach up through the right. Exhale, hands come down to the floor, pitter-patter the tops of the feet if you'd like, and take a counter stretch if you'd like. Nice job, guys. And you're just paying attention. Are you still breathing? Okay, let's come forward onto hands and knees. Plant your hands about shoulder distance apart, curl the toes under, inhale into cow shape. And exhale, press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Now, if you're not taking downward facing dog because you're not inverting, you can also do a puppy pose. But again, let's take a moment to notice what we notice. Can you breathe into your belly? Can you breathe into your ribs? Can you breathe into your chest? Can you see if you can push your shoulders down and forward into your hands as you lift your hips up and back to where the wall and the ceiling meet? And then can you notice any tension that you can let go of? Nice job. Next inhalation, see if you can find more length. As you exhale, draw your right knee to your nose. Plant your right foot between your hands. Pause. You might bring a blanket to pad the back knee. You might also bring hands underneath your blocks. From here, lower the back knee down to the floor. From there, press into your right foot, press into your right knee, reach your left arm forward and come up for an Asana variation. Now I want you to push down into your right foot, maybe push down into your right hand, squeeze your right butt cheek just a little bit so you feel that connection, and then reach up through the left hand, and then take a little side bend to the right. Now, once we're going to the side, breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, and breathe into your chest. And then exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Next inhalation, go ahead and come up through center. As you exhale, hands come down to the floor again. Hands might be on blocks, so hands come to the floor again. Fantastic. Right hand will come to the outside of right thigh. Left hand might come to a left block. What you're going to do is start to push down into your left hand, enough to rotate your rib cage to the right. From here, push down into your right foot. Bend your back knee, your left knee, And then reach around with your right hand to grab the outside edge of your left foot. And then you'll just take a few moments to pause and breathe here. Can you breathe into your belly? Can you breathe into your ribs? Can you breathe into your chest? Notice any tension around the face and see if you can let that go. Awesome. On your next exhalation, gently release the left foot. Bring your hands to frame the front foot. Hands to blocks. Shift your weight back and straighten your front leg long. Now, when you're here, see if you can find that down dog back. So your spine is as long as it can be. Yep. Your pelvis is back almost like a cow shape. And then you're pulling the right toes towards the right kneecap as you reach your heart forward in opposition. And then you're just breathing. And you notice what you notice. Nice job. Next in breath, go ahead and bend the front knee, shift your weight forward, plant your palms. And then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Check in. Can you breathe into your belly, into your ribs, and into your chest? And then exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Nice job. Inhale here, make the spine longer. And then exhale, left knee to nose. Pause, lower the left foot to the floor. Nice work, guys. Fantastic. Maybe you pad the back knee as you lower the back knee down. From here, you'll start to walk the spine up to vertical, reaching the right arm up. Left hand might rest on top of left thigh. Great. Press into your left foot. Squeeze your left butt cheek a little bit to push down into that left foot as you reach up through the right arm, push down into the right knee. And then on your next exhale, little side bend to the left. And again, we keep breathing into belly, into ribs, into chest. See if you can soften any tension around your neck. Yep. Keep pressing into your left big toe by squeezing your left butt cheek. There we go. Next inhalation, go ahead and come up through center. As you exhale, lower your hands to frame the front foot. Right hand might come to block. Left hand comes to outside edge of left thigh. Push down into right hand first to lift up through right armpit and start to rotate the rib cage to the left. Fantastic. Press into your left foot again, and then you'll bend your right knee. From here, you might reach that left hand back to grab the outside edge of your right foot. And then you'll just take a few breaths here, really breathing into belly, into ribs, into chest, and then exhaling through belly, through ribs, through chest. And just notice how that enables you to twist just a little bit more to the left naturally by allowing the body to help facilitate the movement. Nice job. Very gently release that right foot. Go ahead and frame the front foot with both hands, preferably to blocks. Go ahead and shift your weight back to straighten your front leg long. And then just as we did in that down dog, see if you can, your spine can be that straight. Yep. Flex the left foot, drawing the toes back towards your face. And then notice if you can reach your heart forward towards your toes as you press down into your left heel, press down into your right knee. Nice job, guys. Awesome. Next in breath, shift your weight forward. Plant your sole of the foot, plant the palms, and sit back to downward facing dog. Great. Go ahead and inhale and come forward into plank pose. Take 3 breath cycles here, and I want you to really breathe into the belly, into the ribs, and into the chest, and then exhale from the navel, through the ribs, through the chest. And you got 2 more just like that. Slow and steady, deep breaths. Noticing that you can lift the back of the head so it stays in alignment, yep, with the shoulders. Nice work. On your next inhalation, let's shift our weight forward. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down in one piece. Fantastic. When you get down to your abdomen, extend the tops of the feet to the floor. Press down into the tops of the feet, lengthen your tailbone back and strengthen through the legs. Then draw the shoulders up towards the ears and hug the shoulder blades together on the back. Now lightly press into your hands, lift your ears in line with the tops of your shoulders. And I want you to squeeze the shoulder blades on the back as you isometrically push down into the hands and pull them back and pull your heart forward and through. Lengthen the tailbone back, and you can come as high as you want, but you're thinking of allowing the sternum to come forward, the hands to pull back, the toes to press down. Nice job. Next exhale, lower all the way down. And then as you inhale, come up into cobra as high as you wish to. Yep. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Nice job, guys. Curl the toes under, draw the belly in, inhale through hands and knees or plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Great. Alrighty. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees back to the mat. Reach your left shin bone back. Left foot goes back. Bring your left shin to the back of your right calf. And you're just going to go up and down the right leg, pressing that left shin up, or rather down into your right shin. And after you've done that a few times, you're going to start to go right to left with the left shin like you're sawing something. And then I want you to find a spot probably closer to the knee, but not too close to the knee, that feels like it's a tender spot. And you're just going to press your left shin into the back of the right calf. You might walk your hands back just a little bit to apply more pressure, but you don't need to. And then you're just going to breathe, really allowing the left shin to press into the right calf. And then go ahead and switch spots. So maybe you'll slide that left shin down a little further. Great. And then you'll gently release that, planting the left knee next to the right. Then we're going to try that on the other side. So go ahead and extend the right leg back, bend the right knee, plant the right shin into the back of the left calf. And slide up and down the leg. And so we're not doing the full version that we normally do today. We haven't done this in a while, and I don't know about you, but I found this to be very tender when I did this, even in this orientation. So you're just going to go up and down the leg, and then you'll go a little bit right to left, making that sawing action. And you might find that sometimes it feels more tender on the medial side. So on this left leg, that's the part that's most towards the right. And you'll just allow that right shin to find a fun spot on the back of the left calf. And then you'll just pause there, really applying a bit of pressure, maybe walking the hands a little closer to your pelvis or to your knees so that you can apply a bit more weight, but you're just breathing. And then you'll find a different spot, sliding that right shin a little perhaps lower along that left calf, and you'll just pause and you'll breathe. Yeah, good job. And then gently release that. Plant the right foot next to the left foot, curl the toes under, go back to down dog for just a moment to breathe. And I want you to notice what you notice in the calves now. Are you able to walk your feet back just a smidge? Can you pull your kneecaps up just a little bit more so that the heels reach towards the floor and down just a little bit easier? Nice work. All right, let's go ahead and inhale and lower your knees to the mat. For this one, I would encourage you to put a blanket underneath your knees, but you do whatever the heck works for you. Okay. And then for this one, I would encourage both blocks at their highest setting. Okay. And then once you've got that, blocks are going to come, or hands are going to come on blocks on highest setting. You're going to step your left foot through to start, but you're not actually going to stay there. The left toes are going to curl to the floor in a figure 4 shape to the top of your right thigh. And then you're going to start to press your butt back in order to sit back. You might lower your hands to the floor or to the blocks. You might lower your elbows all the way down, but we're finding an intense figure 4 stretch on that left side. So from the side, we've got a figure 4 here and our butt's going back. And you'll feel all this fun stuff happening on your left outer hip. And then I want you to see if you can still breathe through your belly. Can you breathe through your ribs? And can you breathe through your chest? And the left toes are curled under. The left ankle is pressing against the top of the right thigh. And your pelvis is reaching back as your heart is trying to reach forward. Yeah. There we go. And then as you're ready, we're going to gently come out of this. So you're going to walk the hands back. You'll probably put the hands onto the blocks, turn the blocks up to the highest tick, and gently release that left leg. Take a moment in down dog if you'd like to just see what that feels like, because that was pretty intense on one leg, and then we'll try all that on the other side. Yeah. Nice job. And then as you're ready, lower the knees back down. Bring your hands to your blocks, make sure they're on their highest setting. Then you'll step your right foot through, cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. And then you'll start to hinge your butt back, and maybe the hands will come to the floor. Maybe the elbows will come to blocks or the floor. But you're just paying attention now to what's happening into your right outer hip. And then as best as you can, the heart comes forward because it keeps the spine long, which then intensifies what's happening in that outer right hip. And the right toes, if possible, are curled into the floor. So they're really pressing into the floor. There you go. And you're just pausing and you're breathing and you're noticing what you notice. Fantastic. Got one more breath cycle here. The end of this next exhalation, you'll start to come out of the shape. Plant your hands, plant the knee, go back to a downward facing dog for just a moment. And just notice what this feels like. We're spending our practice really grounding ourselves in this moment. And the best way to always do that is through the breath. It's also through the body. So in this moment, do you just notice what your body is touching? The floor, your mat, your clothing. Next inhale, go ahead and come forward. Lower your knees down. Extend your right leg out to the right knee in line with right foot in line with left knee. And then you're going to start to press your butt back again and walk your hands forward. And we're looking for a stretch on the inside edge of your right leg. If you were not feeling that, come out of the shape a little bit. Walk your hands towards the right on a diagonal. And then maybe lower your forearms to the floor or reach your arms forward. But we're looking for sensation on the inside edge of your right leg. Nice job, guys. Take 2 more breath cycles here. Press that right pinky toe to the floor. Yep, keep your right kneecap pulled up and engaged. Yep. Fantastic. Very gently walk your hands back. Slide your right knee into your left. And then we'll go ahead and try that on the other side. Extend the left foot out to the left. Make sure the left foot's in line with the right knee. Press your pelvis back. Walk your hands forward. And take a moment to just pause and breathe here as you're breathing on the inside edge of your left leg. And this side might be different. You might not feel anything on this side. That's okay. Let's go ahead and come out of this shape. Walk your spine over towards the left on a diagonal. And then maybe lower the forearms down. Yeah, nice work, guys. Okay. At the end of the next exhalation, you'll gently start to come out of this shape. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders, walk the left foot in. Press yourself back to a downward facing dog for just a brief moment. And then let's go ahead and inhale and come forward into plank. Now you can choose to stay here in normal plank, or you could lower your forearms to the floor, whatever works for you. But we're going to stay here for about 3 breath cycles. And I want you to really just breathe into the belly, breathe into the ribs, and breathe into the chest. I don't know about you, but this week has been an interesting week for me. I noticed that some things went really super well and other things were, well, not so super well. And the funny thing is, in those moments where I felt not super well, if I was just able to ground myself in my body and my breath and in this moment, things passed. But when I allowed myself to just start to think too much, things were not so well. And I think that that's one of those simple things that we can always remember in our practice. All right, those that are in plank, go ahead and lower down to forearm plank. Those that are in forearm plank, start to lift your hips high and come into a dolphin pose. And you're just going to pause and you're going to breathe. And again, I want you to breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, and breathe into your chest. Press down through the forearms, lift up through the inner armpits, and lift the hips to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Nice job. As you're ready, lower the knees to the floor. Rest for a moment in child's pose. And just take a breath here. What are the things that you do that help you reground and recenter when something throws you a little bit off? It might be you garden, you play with your puppy, you talk to somebody, you take a walk. How can we remind ourselves that it's in those moments that we have the most power because we have the most choice? Okay, let's go ahead and start to walk our hands back and slowly roll our spine up to sit. When you are vertical, go ahead and swing your legs in front of you and bring your pelvis to the floor. Some of you might sit up on your blanket at this point. Some of you might want your strap somewhere nearby. Okay, go ahead. Once you're seated, extend your right leg forward, bend your left knee, draw your left foot to the inside edge of your right foot. Left foot to the inside edge of your right foot. All right, let the left knee open out to the left. And then if you did need your strap, you would put it around the ball of your right foot. And you would imagine that you're riding 6 horses. So you draw the shoulder blades onto the back and reach the heart forward towards that right foot. You can also just reach there with your hands and pull back, but you're just really hugging the shoulder blades together on the back. And then you're seeing if you can make one line from your head to your butt, just like we did when we were in that half Hanuman, just like we did in down dog. You just got one more breath cycle here, softening any tension around your shoulders. And then at the end of the next exhalation, you can start to tuck your chin to your chest and just sort of fold forward over your legs if that feels appropriate for you. And then you just got 3 breath cycles here. And again, are you breathing into the belly? Are you breathing into your ribs? Are you breathing into your hips? Your belly, your ribs, your chest. You'll probably be breathing in your hips and your leg, especially that right back hamstring. There we go. And then very gently, you're going to walk yourself out of the shape. So start to walk your hands back, start to roll your spine up. Grab your left ankle with your left hand and hug your left knee back towards center. Keep holding on to your left ankle with your left hand. Right hand comes to the right. And see if you can swim your left heel outside of your left hip. If you need to, you might need to remove that blanket. But you're going to take a moment to pause here and see if this feels okay in your knees and your hips. If so, stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, hands will start to walk back. You'll lift your pelvis up. You'll slide your bum down. And then maybe you'll lower onto your forearms. You might stay here hugging the shoulder blades onto your back, lifting the chest up. You might lie all the way back down on the floor And if you lie your spine all the way down on the floor, you might reach your arms alongside your ears just to have a little bit of a stretch happening all along the front line of the body. But again, you're just taking a moment to pause. You're taking a moment to breathe, and you're noticing what you notice here. Again, breathing into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and exhaling through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. All right, those that are supine, you're going to slowly come out of this. So some of you might just roll to the right, and that might be how you come out of it. Some of you might come up the way you went down. And then those that are on their forearms, you're going to come out the way you came down. So you're going to push down through the hands, lift up, grab your left ankle with your left hand, bring the left knee forward, and then go ahead and extend the leg long. And then just take a moment with both legs long to just notice what you notice here. And then we'll go ahead and try all that on the other side. So left leg stays long, bend your right knee, externally rotate the right thigh. So the right foot comes to the inside edge of the left foot, and then, or left thigh. And then again, if you need your strap will come across the ball of your left foot. You'll pull the strap back as you press your left big toe mound and pinky toe mound forward. And then you'll start to hinge at the hip. So your spine is super long, the shoulder blades are sliding together and down your back, and your head is really long, really flexing through that left foot. And if you're happy as a clam here, you will stay here. Otherwise, you'll start to soften your chin towards your chest and round your spine towards your left thigh. And then you'll just take a few breaths there. And that left leg is as active as it can be. So the left kneecap is pulling up, the left foot is pulling the toes back towards the left kneecap. Great. And you've just got one more breath cycle here. Are you still breathing into your belly and into your ribs and into your chest? We want to allow our diaphragm to breathe because it allows us to calm the nervous system. When we do a lot of upper chest breathing, it just makes us a little bit more anxious or not calm and grounded, which can let our mind spin even more. As you're ready, you'll gently release your hands, walk your spine back up to vertical. When you are vertical, go ahead and bend the right knee, planting the right foot on the floor. Grab your right ankle with your right hand, swing your right knee forward, your right foot back. Take a moment to check in with that left foot. If this is feeling good to you, you stay here, or you might start to walk your hands back. You might lift your bum up, slide your tailbone forward towards that left leg. You might stay there on the forearms, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. You might lie all the way flat on the floor. But wherever you are, you're breathing into your belly. You're breathing into your ribs. You're breathing into your chest. If you're all the way down on the floor, your arms might reach up and over your head. Yep, just gives you a long line across the front of the body, and you're just pausing and you're breathing. And you're just observing and noticing what you notice here. Nice work, guys. At the end of your next exhalation, those that are on your back are going to probably just roll to your left. Those that are on your forearms are going to start to push up, walk the spine forward, grab your right ankle with your right hand, swim the foot forward, and then extend the right leg to meet the left. And then from here, just take a moment to pause and notice what you notice. And then I want you to slowly roll down onto your backs. If you've got something underneath your butt, take that away. Make sure your blocks are somewhere nearby when you make your way to the floor. And we are starting to wind down, so if you are getting cold, go ahead and cover the body before you lay down. And then when you find yourself on your back, just take a moment to notice what it feels like to be flat now. What does the breath feel like in the abdomen, into the ribs, and into the chest? Okay. As you're ready, gently bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor. Grab one of your blocks and slide it underneath your sacrum. Make sure it's underneath the spine where it really feels like the sacrum is sitting on that block, like it's resting on a shelf. And it can be on its first setting or its second setting, whatever feels good to you. You just want to feel very stable in the spine, in the sacrum. And some of you will choose to hang out here and just breathe into your belly, breathe into your ribs, breathe into your chest. Some of you will slide your legs forward along the floor, and some of you will choose to reach one foot up and then the other foot up towards the sky. But you're choosing the best option that allows you to breathe deeply into your belly, into your ribs, and into your chest. And yeah, you might need to play around with it. Some of you might want to try different variations, but we're just going to stay here for about 4 breath cycles. So I want you to really notice what the breath feels like. Sometimes in order for the breath to be full, we have to feel really grounded and stable, really supported. And so just notice how that manifests for you. Where do you feel the most stable so that your breath can be the most free and easy? Okay. Those with your legs up, take 1 to 2 more breaths and then start to slowly lower your feet back to the floor. Those with the legs long, 1 to 2 more breaths and then start to walk your feet back. And then once we all have our feet on the floor and our pelvis firmly rooted, you're going to take a breath or two here, just breathing into your belly, breathing into your ribs, breathing into your chest. And before you move, you'll engage the backs of the legs to lift your hips, to remove the block, to slowly bring your pelvis back down. From here, walk the feet outside of the hips, let the knees knock in, and you can either wrap your arms around your torso, giving yourself a hug, or you can put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, but you'll just take a few breath cycles here. And some of you will choose to stay right here for the remainder of our practice. Some of you may feel called to explore a different shape or shapes. But I want you to just observe and notice what feels appropriate for you. And then you'll just take the opportunity to move into that shape or shapes as it feels inviting. And you'll know what's the best shape for you to be in because your breath will be easy. Your breath will be full and effortless. All right. Those that are in movement, start to make your way to your final shape. And then once you find yourself in your final shape, I would encourage you to make sure that you feel warm enough in your space. Make sure you feel supported enough with your props. Yeah. And then we're going to end very similarly to how we began. So go ahead and take a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale into just your abdomen. Hold the breath there for a moment. And then exhale just through the abdomen. You'll do that 2 more times, just breathing into the abdomen, filling it, noticing the low back fill with breath, noticing the pelvis fill with breath, and then exhale, let it go. And last time on your own, just breathing into the pelvis and the low back. And this next time you'll expand the breath. So you'll breathe into the belly so much that the low back, the pelvis, and the ribs start to get involved. And then you'll exhale, softening the belly, softening the ribs. And you'll just do that 2 more times on your own, really inflating the belly, the low back, the ribs. And then softening the belly, softening the ribs. And then this third set, breathe into the abdomen, into the ribs, and into the chest. And then softening the belly, softening the ribs, and softening the chest. And you're just noticing how through this, the breath is naturally becoming longer. It's naturally becoming deeper. And as the breath becomes longer and deeper, the mind begins to quiet. At the end of this exhalation, gently release the breath and let it just go in its natural, involuntary rate. And you'll just stay here with yourself for a few moments or a few breaths, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Return your awareness to your breath. As you come back to your breath, just take a moment to check in. Just notice what you notice. If there's any part of you longing to linger in this shape, by all means, just stay here. When movement starts to call you, allow it to gently re-enter into your physical form. Those in stillness, stay as long as you'd like. Those in movement, you'll start to make your way to one of your sides, pausing for just a few breaths. Gently, you'll start to roll your chest more towards the floor. Press into your top hand and draw your spine up to a tall and comfortable seat. And when you are vertical, please elevate your bum on a block or a blanket. Maybe close the eyes or keep the gaze softly resting on the floor. And then you'll bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And you'll just take 3 breaths here. As you're here, really notice the weight of your pelvis into whatever you're sitting on. Notice the weight of your legs into the floor. Notice the weight of the hands on the chest and the abdomen. No matter what happens in life, when we can remind ourselves to be present to what is happening in this moment, it gives us the opportunity to respond in the way that we would like. It allows us to direct our energy and our attention in the manner in which we'd like. And I think it's there that is the real power to having a sense of joy or purpose or meaning or happiness, whatever you want to call it. And so as you take the last 3 breath cycles here, I invite you to remember that this tool of directing your awareness is always available to you. And sometimes the easiest way to remind ourselves of that is really just physically touching the body, grounding the body. Go ahead and bring the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Press the palms into each other. Receive the weight of the thumbs into the sternum and then lift your heart towards your hands. Gently exhale all the breath from your mouth. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale for Om. Join if you'd like. To that light, to that breath, and to that sound, we bow. Namaste.